So aggregator commissions, there are businesses who pay around 25% per order to 30-35%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. When you talk to few of the merchants, they tell we pay up to 60%. Basically, the app is.
Were you guys both always a fan of the launch fast, fail fast, and reiterate model?
The first version wasn't the right one.
What are some of the client acquisition strategies that you guys use?
We met Rafi Philly. Chris Wade also for Fade Fit.
I think you guys raised a pre-seed round, right?
We raised $200,000.
Why did you guys decide to build in Dubai instead of Saudi?
Maybe that's the best decision we have taken, knowingly or unknowingly.
When did you guys find product market fit?
Zomato just left and merged with Talabat. And Indian brands were primarily on Zomato. Okay, if we are going to be reliant on such platforms, at one point we'll be hit also. Like if they leave tomorrow, we'll be the ones who would face the consequences.
Hi Rishi.
Hi Rohan.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know you're on a very busy schedule, but this happened on very short notice. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this. All right.
Maybe, man. Thank you for calling me and giving me such an opportunity. And yeah, let's see. I'm always up for talking. Yeah.
Perfect. So I'll just start by the whole agenda of this podcast. Okay. This is the second episode. So we had someone from Kendall speak on the first episode, and it was really insightful. Like people really loved the insights that were given because the nature of this podcast is such that it's very technical on marketing strategies.
Right.
And founder stories and stuff like that. So anyone trying to build in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or UAE,
Right.
this podcast is actually for them.
Understood. Understood.
I want to start by asking the industry about the industry that you guys operate in first. You guys function in something called social commerce, right? So I want to
Correct.
get into this whole social commerce space and understand this industry in detail. So maybe we can
Right.
start off with that. What exactly is social commerce and how is it different from e-commerce?
Yeah, so social commerce in very simple terms, doing commerce or online trading
Mhm.
through social platforms. Social platforms being the social apps that you use, right? So that's a simple term, I would say. E-commerce, you know it, right? You go
Yeah,
to website, you do online commerce through websites, comes under e-commerce. So that's a basic separation between social commerce and e-commerce.
yeah,
Now, within social commerce, from my understanding, there are different layers to it. For example, apps itself have their own built-in online commerce features, right?
mm,
TikTok has TikTok Shop, Instagram also in US and all. You are able to buy and sell stuff, right?
yeah, yeah.
So those are commerce features that are built within the app. Now, I believe this was started as a method for the apps to make some money
Mm,
because most of the apps, so that is one of their revenue model, right?
yeah,
They get
yeah.
commissions and they're able to boost. So
Or
what we are
they let
basically
them run
doing,
ads on their platform. So that's the other
correct,
app.
correct,
Yeah,
correct. Now, what is the point of you running an ad and redirecting to another website? If
yeah,
you can have the product listed on the same app, then the conversion could happen within the app, right? So
yes.
that's the basic understanding behind social commerce. So what we are doing is, and how we reached to this point is mainly because of the struggles that we have seen with the retail brands in the UAE.
Mm,
So since when we were in Bits itself, we were always thinking of ways in which to help this particular industry because we understood that the commissions that these aggregators are taking is too high. So our main aim was to eradicate that particular issue. Even these apps for you to run an ad, you have to get their permission, you have to
mm,
follow their guidelines, you don't have the complete creative freedom. They
yeah,
come up with campaigns, you can just enlist for those campaigns, so
yeah.
you don't have complete freedom over there.
Mm,
So our idea was to solve that. Initially, we also went through the route of building another app. We understood that that's not the right way because what happens is that for you to earn some money, you'll have to again bring in the commissions because there is no other proper way
yeah,
to earn money, right?
yeah.
So the business model didn't work for us. So that's when we noticed that most of these businesses use WhatsApp as a medium to uh, converse with people, to do commerce, to sell products, everything. Especially restaurants, and right now even groceries are. I would say grocery chains. It depends on the chains,
Yeah.
right? Some of them do take orders through WhatsApp. Some of them don't. So we didn't intend to get to this industry, but it happened for us to be here. So I'll just give you a very small story of how we started.
Yeah.
How we started Cravin. There is a small cafeteria near our place. We used to go there and have chai. Now the owner of
This is
the
in Dubai.
in Sharjah,
Sharjah. Okay.
yeah, in Sharjah. This owner also, he was very passionate of starting a cafeteria, but he didn't have the proper knowledge of how to run a, you know, restaurant, cafeteria, whatsoever.
Yeah.
So he is basically into selling chicken, like frozen chicken. He is into that business. So
Okay.
he had some money, he invested in this particular cafeteria. It's a very small cafeteria, but they had amazing chai, right? So we used to go there and spend hours talking to this particular person. Very nice guy. So then, obviously, when you talk a lot, we started spending a lot of time over there. We had a marketing background.
Yeah.
So that's when he gave us complete freedom, and complete freedom in the sense he was like, okay, go inside the kitchen, see what are the issues. So we started making SOPs, basically how a particular kitchen should work. Like we have no knowledge. Like our university is YouTube. We go to YouTube, we do internet search, and we learn,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we went back to him. He was also very supportive. That's when he was also like, okay, we wanted data. They were comparatively a very new cafeteria in the area. So we wanted to, create some buzz, and he didn't have much marketing budget also. So he was like, let's do one thing. It was peak summer, so he was like, we'll give watermelon sarbat on a discounted
Okay.
price. It was 6 or 7 dirhams. It was like, let's give it for 1 dirham. Okay. So what we did is, but you have to message through WhatsApp. So we
Okay.
get the data so that next time we can retarget them with
Yeah.
promotion flyers and all that, right?
Got it. Yeah.
So that was the idea behind. We've printed 1,000 pieces of flyers, distributed it, and that evening they were completely packed with orders. So the staffs were very happy. The staffs were like, "We have never got such,
Results.
orders."
Yeah.
So that was our realization point that okay, WhatsApp is a good medium to do this. Yeah, it's a good tool to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But next day when we went and we checked the WhatsApp, they have only replied to 10% of the messages that they have got, and only 5 to 6% of them were converted, like
Yeah.
properly done. So we thought, okay, this could be an inefficiency, right? Because other businesses, if they are getting like 10 messages, they would be replying to all 10 messages, and they would be, servicing all those 10 customers. But turns out that's not the scenario. Especially what happens is that in restaurant industry, during peak hours, that's basically lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner time, they get a lot of calls and messages together,
Okay.
and there are usually like one person to reply to all the
Yeah.
WhatsApp messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have four landlines and two people to answer them. So like you can
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
what the mess would be. So then that's how we actually thought, okay, if there is a way for us to redirect all the orders to WhatsApp, completely automate WhatsApp so that these people don't have to manually reply to any one of them, why don't we do that as a product and sell to all businesses?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's how we actually got into social commerce.
So kind of like a
And
bot, like a WhatsApp bot.
yeah, so bot is the first step that customer comes into. So say
Yeah.
for example, customer is messaging McDonald's. He messages hi, he gets a reply, and there would be options from which he would have to choose.
Yeah.
There would be order now. If he has already placed an order, to track his order. If he wants to see the locations, he can see the locations. There are
Yeah.
options. If he
Yeah.
chooses order now, what happens is that he is taken to a link. So the benefit with our system is that customer doesn't have to do OTP verification, nothing.
Got it. Yeah.
If he comes through WhatsApp, he is already authorized. He gets into the link, shares his address for once.
Yeah.
He can add in his items to the cart and check out. So it's pretty seamless. Now what happens is that we have three verticals: Cravin Commerce, Cravin Sports, and Cravin Food.
Hmm.
Now once he has shared his address on one of the platform, now tomorrow he is going to supermarket and buying something, he doesn't have to share his address again.
Hmm.
So what we have done is we have tried to create an app-like feeling without actually building an app.
One thing that I want to ask is, so when I went on to the hero section of Craven Commerce's website,
Yeah.
um, the headline says how Craven is on a mission to save 15 million and
Okay.
15 million dirhams and
Correct.
173,000 work hours in UAE by 2025. So this
Correct.
is a very, it's a very clear mission statement. And why this particular mission?
So in simple terms, again talking to merchants.
Yeah.
So the entire product that we have,
Hmm.
I would say it's designed by all these restaurant owners, staffs.
Yeah.
We have just developed it,
Okay.
right? We
Hmm.
have taken inspiration from all major softwares that they are currently using, even
Hmm.
aggregator platforms, how they work.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to reinvent the wheel, right? We didn't
Yeah.
want to build something that's completely out of nowhere,
Hmm.
because then the learning curve would be more,
Yeah.
right? So we have built the system in such a way that it's very easy for them to use.
Yeah.
So aggregator commission was the main reason, as you mentioned, we got into this.
Hmm.
But the more we actually spoke to these people, we understood that that's just one of it, right?
Hmm.
The main being freedom, right?
Free. Hmm.
So aggregator commissions, there are businesses who pay around 25 percentage per order to 30-35%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. In fact, it becomes crazy. Like when you talk to few of the merchants, they tell we pay up to 60%,
Yeah.
especially in JLT, JBR areas. The reason being they're not actually paying 60% as commission.
Hmm.
What happens is that they have to run marketing on these apps for
Hmm.
them to get any business.
Hmm.
And then whatever business that you get, you pay 30% out of it.
Oh, okay.
So this was a main pain point why we got into this. And
Hmm.
also the fact that when they are taking orders through landline or WhatsApp, they are actually missing it out mainly because of two things.
Hmm.
One, human, efficiency, I would say. Because a person can
Hmm.
at a time maybe talk to one customer.
Hmm.
If he is superhuman, he can talk to two people. I have seen that happen. They will be answering one call over here, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have seen that happen. But then most of the restaurants have four lines or five lines. It is
Hmm.
impossible for them to manually talk to each one of them, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's when we understood that this aggregator thing is just one pain point.
Yeah.
These staff, they are actually, getting drained. They need a solution to save their time, to
Hmm.
make whatever they are doing more efficient and
Hmm.
more easy. So
Hmm.
that's the reason why we have put these two factors. One, the money that's being saved.
Yeah.
It's mainly because of the tools that we are providing, so
Hmm.
that with WhatsApp broadcast, with promo codes that you can create
Yeah. Yeah.
through our dashboard, they can
Hmm.
retarget and have build their own community,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So with that, they will be able to at least save some amount of commissions that otherwise they would have to pay for the to the aggregators.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the funniest thing is that these aggregators, they don't provide any customer data to these restaurants.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
So that is another thing. So you are a restaurant, you are servicing one of your customer, but you don't know who you're servicing. There are
Hmm.
restaurants who get data, but most of them they don't get proper data.
Hmm.
And over years, some aggregators have started giving out data as well. So that was another pain point. The third one, as I mentioned, efficiency and time.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that this is Craven Craven Food specifically would be really beneficial to the small restaurant owners. I'm assuming as opposed to the bigger franchisees, because they're spending, if it's a small restaurant owner, let's say if it's a small time cafe or a cafeteria, they're spending a lot of the first they have to list on these aggregator platforms, they have to spend a lot on ad spend, and then that those ads might not convert, they might not see the sales, and if they make some sales on it despite putting a lot of money on running the ads, they have to pay 25 to 30% commission on those
Correct.
revenues, right?
Correct. Correct.
So
There are actually few stories that
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking whether I should share.
Hmm.
Uh,
Please do
you
share. Yeah.
can beat the brand,
Yeah. Yeah.
but basically what happened is I was talking to this one brand in JBR. Basically, the app is like when they are listing on their platform,
Hmm.
they are like, okay, let's do one thing. If you're selling an item for say 30 dirhams,
Yeah.
let's show it as 25 dirhams. Yeah.
Hmm.
So was running a campaign
Hmm.
where 30 dirham worth item they
Yeah.
were giving out for like 20 dirhams stuff.
Hmm.
Now the restaurant was like, okay, if it's going to bring me business, might
Hmm.
as well just do it, right? Anyways, I'm buying my resources. Why should I
Yeah.
just wait? Let me just sell. But the funny thing is, they take commission on the 30 dirhams.
Oh.
Yeah. So 20 dirhams is what the customer is listing the item on, but
Hmm.
the platform took commission on 30 dirhams. So again, I'm not sure whether it's a one-off case,
Hmm.
but you hear such stories when you talk to restaurant
Yeah.
owners.
These customers. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and those are the actual reasons also why uh, right now when right now it's easy for me to convert. Right. I know I have a solid product.
Hmm.
I go and I just talk about the worries, the sufferings that they go through, and then how we can solve
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
issues, how they can build their own customer base, how
Hmm.
they have complete control on retargeting customers.
Starting from a WhatsApp chatbot and now being a fully fledged SaaS platform, when did you guys find product market fit?
I would say from the beginning itself, because
Hmm.
what happened is that I mentioned about this cafeteria story, right?
Yeah.
So after that, instead of building the product, what we did is, because we had a doubt whether it's an inefficiency of this particular cafeteria that
Yeah.
they missed a lot of orders.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so what we did is we started going out to restaurants. We started talking to people, whoever we had in contact with. We started
Hmm.
talking to them and seeing if this was actually an a issue.
Issue. Yeah.
So, especially Indian brands back then, what happened is that Zomato just left and merged with Talabat,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and Indian brands were primarily on Zomato.
Hmm.
So they actually saw a dip in their
Sales.
sales. So they were also like, they understood the point that, okay, if we are going to be reliant on such platforms, at one point we'll be hit also. Like if they
Yeah.
leave tomorrow, we'll be the ones who would face the consequences.
Yeah.
So many, when we were going around and pitching the idea, we are thinking of building something similar. What would be your suggestion?
Hmm.
They were all in,
Hmm.
because that's when we understood, okay, there is an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
There is a product that is not there in the market.
Hmm.
There is a tech product especially that these people are lacking. But yeah, so that's how we went and built the first version. And what we tried to do is we tried to keep it on WhatsApp as much as possible.
Hmm.
And that's when trialed it out. The MVP, we built the MVP,
Hmm.
tried it out with 8 restaurants.
Hmm.
And to our surprise also, because again, when we are building something, we always think in our way, right? Okay, whether I would use it, whether my dad or my mom will be able to use it. So
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
when we are showing this product to our parents,
Yeah.
we have to guide, because
Yeah. Yeah.
WhatsApp
Yeah.
adding items, it's something new for them,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we could see the same results when we did the trials.
Hmm.
These are actually issues, right? Because how much would someone spend time on, like customer wise? I have two options. I can complete the same task in like 3 clicks.
Hmm.
I would have to pay maybe 10 or 15 dirhams extra.
Hmm.
On the other side, I would save 10 or 15 dirhams extra, but I would have to spend another 4 or 5 minutes. People would
Yeah.
obviously go with the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was another reason why we were like, okay, now whatever we have built, let's take the ones that are good enough. Let's remove everything else. We went back, we built it again.
Were you guys both always a fan of the launch fast, fail fast, and reiterate model, or do you guys like takes a lot of time to survey your target audience, your customers, and these restaurants and stuff, and to understand their pain points, and then finally take your time to build out the product and then launch?
We were from the first group. So
Hmm.
basically, we were like, oh, we have an idea, let's do something, launch it fast, and let's see where it goes. So without actually studying the market. Like it
Hmm.
was our intuitions, right? Like we are like, so I'll give you an example.
But
So
doesn't that backfire at times when you don't see if the market
it
actually
did,
has
it did,
demand?
it did, it
Okay.
did. Craven to an extent, maybe mainly because of those such a journey only we were able to
Hmm.
understand. Okay, before building anything, let's just go around ask, because nothing is going to, it
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
work out otherwise, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the point of us wasting a lot of time and then understanding that it's not going to work?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now with Craven, what happened is that we understood there is a gap for us to fill,
Hmm.
but the first version wasn't the right one. So that's the reason why we went back and doubled down and we built
A
what we
SaaS
have
model out of
currently.
it.
Yeah.
So I want to get into like what are some of the leads and strategies that you guys follow. More than leads and strategies, I would say what are some of the client acquisition strategies that you guys use? Is it a lot of cold outreach? Do you guys do performance campaigns maybe, or is it like content strict organic content marketing? So you just attract as much inbound as possible.
Yeah. So again, when you have a lot of fund to spend on marketing,
Hmm.
things become easy for you, right? Like,
Hmm.
okay, I spend this much on maybe billboard and Sheikh Zayed Road, I'll
Hmm.
get brand awareness. I do this much on cold calling. When you
Hmm.
don't have that, you try
Hmm.
to resolve into creative process.
Hmm.
So that's how we started doing this 3 month challenge.
Hmm.
We
100
started
days.
posting every single day for
Yeah.
92 days, and
Hmm.
the mission was to get 100 businesses on board.
Hmm.
We in the end, we I think we spoke to around 200 something businesses in
Hmm.
that particular time frame.
Uh-huh.
So for us, that was the biggest push. Now,
Hmm.
because what happened is that instead of just, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's just me and Ethan who are doing the business side of things, right?
Hmm.
We have a
Hmm.
strong tech team because we understood there is no point of me and Ethan or having a really good sales team until and unless the product is good. If we
Yeah.
have the product
100%.
base
Yeah.
ready, then it's easy for us to sell, right?
Yeah.
So even with this particular the campaign that we did, 3 month campaign that we did, uh, you wouldn't understand how strong Instagram is, how
Hmm.
strong people get together in order to support someone,
Hmm.
especially when it's a startup journey or especially when someone is trying to be as raw as possible. So that is
Hmm.
something that me and Ethan try to do, right? We don't want to put the extra gimmicks or the flashy things of renting Ferrari and stuff and then showing, oh,
Hmm.
I did this because of the
Yeah.
money I
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
There's no point. So
Build in public, basically, right?
yeah, yeah. So we uh, are mainly focused on keeping our own characters,
Hmm.
keeping Craven as a startup it is,
Hmm.
and building a community around Craven itself. Because we feel we should do it right now because that is going to be the base of our future plans. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll explain why I said that right now in a bit.
Hmm.
So most of the leads that I've got was through this particular campaign.
Hmm.
And now, through this particular campaign for businesses who we couldn't reach out to, what we did is we started, uh, you know, having individual reels for them. So we met Rafi
Oh,
Philly.
okay.
We made a reel on Philly
Yeah.
because there was a brand that influenced us a lot. We had a
Hmm.
meeting with them. Chris Wade also for
Hmm.
Fade Fit, mainly for Craven Commerce. He happened to see our video. We had a talk with their team.
Hmm.
Now, so that particular campaign, I would say, was one of the major reasons. And people actually started, like, for example, X Zomato, X Noon, X
Hmm.
Talabat started coming out and they were like, I have few people who you can reach out to. I'll give you
Hmm.
contact, reach out to them, give my reference.
Hmm.
This wouldn't have happened if me and Ethan are trying to call and see, right? And it's easy when someone is referring you to someone. I could
Hmm.
just pick up the call and tell that, okay, I am this particular person gave me a reference, and this is what we do.
So organic content via socials would
Correct.
probably reach the best.
That's the best thing that's happened to us. We did run a few ads, and we did get good response also. But what happens is that the conversation doesn't. We couldn't convert much.
Hmm.
So it was mainly these references, people coming together,
This is
giving.
exactly one point I want to touch upon because I actually talk a lot about this to a lot of the marketing friends that I have. Is performance marketing dead as an industry? Because I see a lot of the companies right now. Um, let's leave aside the MNCs, okay, that do run a lot of ads daily. Their
Right.
budgets are in millions, so you can leave them aside. But a lot of these startups and small term firms, they rely heavily on content marketing and organic growth over performance campaigns, mainly because of the budgets. But even if you leave aside the budgets as well, do you is it possible to see substantial results with all that ad spend? I mean,
See,
it
I
depends from industry to industry also,
yeah,
but for
that's
Craven
exactly my point.
specifically, yeah, for Craven specifically, you think that organic is much better than performance?
Uh, Again, I feel um I wouldn't say performance marketing is completely dead. It depends
Hmm.
on how you're using it, right?
Hmm.
So with Craven, the number of campaigns that we have ran is comparatively less.
Hmm.
With Raptor also, we never ran any ad campaign to get clients.
Hmm.
Even with Rough Paper, it was completely through referrals that we got clients.
Yeah.
And we wanted to keep it such a way because what happens is that then over there connection with the client is better because again it was
Yeah.
references,
Yeah.
referral. It was they are coming to us because they have seen the results of what we have done. But
Hmm.
when it comes to Craven, I feel Craven is a product where
Hmm.
we need to run ads, we need to run campaigns
Hmm.
to get to people. Otherwise, we would never get to, right?
Okay. Hmm.
So over there, I believe performance marketing, or for that matter, running ads, is a tool that we should definitely rely on.
Hmm.
But again, as I mentioned earlier, when budget is a key factor, when you're
Hmm.
trying to, have a very tight marketing budget, when you're trying to do so many things within that budget, then that becomes your least priority.
Have you considered fundraising? I think you guys raised a pre-seed round, right?
Yeah, so we raised a pre-seed round from two gentlemen. We
Hmm.
raised $200,000,
Hmm.
and that was another reason why we went back and rebuilt the entire
Yeah.
product and why we
Hmm.
have three verticals. Now we
Hmm.
are actually aiming to raise, not aiming, we are in talks to raise our seed round. We are trying
Hmm.
to raise $2 million. 2 million mainly to expand to grow within UAE because we
Hmm.
want to build a, better sales and operations team now.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
what's happening is that for us to onboard a restaurant is completely easy, right?
Hmm.
Earlier we used to take around 1 week to 2 weeks to just onboard itself.
Hmm.
Now we are meta tech providers. It's easy for us. We can onboard a restaurant in 5 minutes. We have
Okay.
gone live with a restaurant in an hour, like with menu, everything.
Oh
In an
wow.
hour's time, we went live.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
onboarding going live for us is easy. But now what happens is that we spend a lot of time on training the staff,
Hmm.
on making sure the restaurant is opening up our dashboard every single day.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
are doing the necessary steps so that everything works smoothly. So
Hmm.
that is where we are spending a lot of time, right?
Hmm.
So right now, when we onboard a particular restaurant or any business for that matter, we onboard maybe I onboard two brands in a week. Ethan also tries to onboard two brands in a week. We
Hmm.
work on that particular brand. Anyone else, we move to the next week.
Got it. This
On
is
top,
actually
we
one
have
thing that I wanted to touch upon. Why did you guys decide to build in Dubai instead of Saudi?
it all happened. It's not mainly because we wanted to build in UAE, but
Hmm.
right now I would say maybe that's the best decision we have taken, knowingly or unknowingly.
Hmm.
So everything happened during COVID. Like 2019, we started doing freelance work when we
Hmm.
were in bits. We
Hmm.
saved up money. It was not just me and Ethan, a couple of our other friends as well. We started Rough Paper, and that was in UAE itself.
Hmm.
So we started Rough Paper in UAE. Then that's when we are seeing these issues are happening. Why don't we
Hmm.
build
Hmm.
Craven? So parallelly, I used to travel every month, not every year, at least once or twice. I used to travel to Saudi, but Saudi is also going through that change.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
over there, this particular delivery culture is not very.
Prominent.
It is not as big as that you see in
Dubai.
UAE.
Hmm.
So even after looking at that point, we were like, okay, UAE is a good market to start with,
Hmm.
build a good brand. Then with whatever experience, whatever things we have, we go to Saudi and go to that market.
You spoke about doing organic content, right?
Yeah,
For reaching out businesses and for getting inbound. I want to touch a little bit upon that. So, why did you guys choose Instagram as your main platform to build this community of so forth? Because what I've understood from my marketing experience is that every social media platform has a certain type of users, and the nature of the content that you post actually varies a lot. Now, what
correct,
I mean by that is, let's say you're doing LinkedIn, for example, right? Everybody is very positive. You'll see very little hate on LinkedIn. It's
correct,
either, yeah, it's always very reaffirming, or you will see a lot of
supportive.
complaints, yeah, but you will not see a lot of hate.
Yeah,
Whereas on Twitter, you will see, I mean X, you will see a lot of hate.
it's mainly for that.
Yeah, it's very easy to be a hater on X, but there is also a very strong community that you can build on X, right?
Correct.
I feel like community, building a community is significantly much easier on X rather than a LinkedIn or a TikTok or whatever. But then why did you choose Instagram? Because tell me, like, how did you figure out that Instagram would bring in max ROI?
Because from our experience itself, because we understand Instagram algorithm better, we feel,
Hmm. Hmm.
than any other platforms. For that matter, I still don't understand how X works.
Hmm.
Like I put tweets now and then, it doesn't work for me. So
Hmm.
right now, I'm actually trying to do something. I started it yesterday. I'm
Hmm.
trying to. So the main idea was X is not working for me anyways. So
Hmm.
might as well just journal everything that I have in my head every
Hmm.
single day on X.
Hmm.
And
Hmm. Hmm.
maybe after 1 year, I'll just go back and see what was my mental stage on June 1st.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
was I thinking? What was happening on that day?
Mm. But why not LinkedIn? Because your business or Craven essentially is B2B, right? So then wouldn't LinkedIn have bought in max ROI?
It's mainly because the kind of businesses we were targeting initially,
Hmm.
we feel the owners wouldn't be there on LinkedIn
LinkedIn.
much.
But is
So
it gonna be a focus right now? Because you
yeah,
might be
it
targeting.
is. It is. It
It
is
is okay.
because right now we are getting into Craven commerce and we want to get into bigger chain.
So when you're looking to raise your second round, are you guys part of some sort of an incubator or an accelerator program? Which
So
exactly?
we are part of In5.
In five. Okay.
Yeah. So we are part of In5. This is actually our second year, I guess, second or third year. I'm
Hmm.
not sure. I think yeah, second year.
Mm. And how did you guys decide on N5? Why not a Hub 71 or something like that?
So why In5? Because it was for us it was easily accessible.
Hmm.
Second, we had initial conversations with In5 for In5 to use our product
Okay. Hmm.
to book their conference room, their studios and stuff. They were thinking of using our solution too.
Hmm.
So that conversation was going on. Then that's when we raised our pre-seed and we were like, okay, might as well just register with In5 and then see what next.
Hmm. So now, yeah, when you were talking about, I just remembered one thing. So this can actually be helpful for a lot of the creators out there or people who are tapping into marketing right now. When you talked about organic content without running paid campaigns, for let's say the 90-day challenge or the 100-day challenge on Instagram, uh, how do you grow if let's say you're starting a new page, how do you grow that page from 0 followers to your first 1K and then to your next 10K? How does that happen? Like, is it only consistency, or is it, what is the best strategy to grow on a platform like that?
If you ask a question, if you ask me to answer in one word, I would
Hmm.
say content. Yeah.
Hmm.
Basically, focus on your content.
Hmm.
For a matter, I know if a video is going to perform better or not. I'm not talking about followers because I
Hmm.
know even you would have seen Instagram accounts where they have 50K views, 100K views.
Hmm.
Followers are still like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't matter. I'm telling this because of two reasons. Like for
Mm.
example, if I know the story in a particular video, the way
Mm.
I've presented it is uh, good enough, it would perform better than the other videos that I've posted. And I'm not
Mm.
talking about I get like million views or anything.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just compared to the performance,
Mm.
content storytelling is the main thing. Now, to coming back to your question, how to grow a particular account.
Mm.
Again, it depends on what kind of a niche you're targeting.
Mm.
Yeah. So we have an account called I know UAE.
Yeah, yeah.
It's called we have 53 or 54,000 followers, completely organic.
Mm.
For us
And how long
to
did that take?
so we started 2022 is when we initially started.
Mm.
We posted I think every single day one or two posts
Mm.
for almost 2 months. We got
Mm.
to 2K or something. So it was mainly our friends, family, and everyone.
Mm.
Then we completely stopped. Then that's when we were working on Craven.
Mm.
Then what basically happened is that at one point we understood that if we need to market Craven, if we want to reach out to customers, we'll have
Mm.
to build I know UAE community also.
Mm.
So then it
And then
becomes easy for
through
us
I
to
know
launch
UAE,
Craven.
you will promote
Yeah,
Craven.
so it becomes easy for us to launch Craven because
Mm-hmm.
I know UAE is mainly targeting our target audience. That's the entire UAE.
Yeah.
We can just plug in Craving.
So build distribution via I know UAE first, and then use that as a tool to promote Craven.
Yeah, correct, absolutely. So not just Craven in the sense,
Mm.
I know UAE as it is stands as a separate brand, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But since it's ours own, we can promote Craven
yeah.
on it.
100%. Yeah.
So with I know UAE, it has been completely organic, not
Mm.
even one paid ad, right?
Mm. Mm.
We used to post every one post every single day.
Mm.
But over there, the entire strategy becomes different, right?
Mm.
The
Mm.
content that we are posting needs to be either funny, memeish, or relatable to the people in the UA. Then
Mm.
it works. The
Yeah.
more relatable it is to a particular person or touch with nostalgia.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch with nostalgia, it works.
Mm.
So mainly it works when you talk about nostalgia is because people start commenting, "Oh, I used to do this when I was a kid. I used to do that. I missed this." So that algorithm then shows that particular post to more such people.
Yeah.
So with I know UA, we started with one post every single day. Then we increased it to four. Recently,
Mm.
we are posting 8 posts every single day.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And now the reason why we have increased the number of posts every single day is because it's
And do
not
you
on that.
guys sit and create
No,
the
no, no,
post,
no,
the creatives, or you
no,
have a
no.
team doing that?
Yeah, it's a separate team who does that.
Okay. Okay.
Now, the core reason why we did that is mainly because um, simple maths, right? Now we are posting 8 videos.
Mm.
There is 1 in 8 chance that at least one video would go viral.
Yeah.
The chances are more, right?
Mm.
Earlier, if we were posting four, the chances are less. So
Mm.
that's the main reason with I know you why we were posting more and being consistent. When it
Mm.
comes to individual accounts, it mainly depends on uh, being built. Right now, this is the trend that I'm seeing.
Mm.
Uh, Building your own character and being as consistent and telling your story the best way possible.
Mm. So
So that's
consistency.
it. Yeah, consistency in the sense I'm not saying you have to post every single day.
Mm.
Consistency in the sense you should
In
be live
quality.
enough. Yeah, quality and even like for a matter, I posted 2 videos this week.
Mm.
Maybe next week I'm posting 3. I'm not talking about the number, but the consistency in which I'm publishing content. I'm always there.
Mm.
Not every single day, but I'm always there.
Mm.
Right?
At least have a weekly presence.
Correct. So that is important. And what story for that matter is a good way to play with.
Mm.
Whatever thoughts you have, put it on story. Yeah. You're
Mm.
always there on stories.
Yeah, makes sense. What does your marketing stack include?
Very simple. Very simple. We use Notion to mainly, communicate
Project management
and
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, manage and stuff. We do use few publishing tools. Other than that, it's directly the app.
Oh,
Obviously,
that's it.
Adobe Suite for editing and everything. Apart from
Hmm.
that, nothing else.
It's very simple. So Creative Suite, Adobe Creative Suite for all the design stuff, and your own platforms for the rest of it.
Correct.
Hmm. So, for I don't know if how many people know this, but you and I both went to the same university for bachelor's.
Yeah.
We're from the
Yeah.
same alma mater, so we all went to BITS Pilani, and you found your co-founder there, right, Ethan? So maybe you want to talk a little bit about your college life and how you had that entrepreneurial spirits in you, and then how did you decide why Ethan basically? Why not anybody else? Because you said there were a couple of you. A group of friends who were doing this right initially, who had similar aspirations, similar mindsets, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, then, but why did you choose Ethan to build Craven with?
There are, so I'll start from college days.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everything happened from first year onwards. Yeah. So the first gig, I would say, I wouldn't even call it as a gig. So since me and Ethan, more or less, we understood, okay, engineering is our not our thing. So
mm,
both of us were slightly on the creative side. So we were like, okay, whatever we can, let's just go and. I had a camera back then. I
mm,
am slightly into photography and all. The first project that we did was Dairos 2016. So Dairos is the for whoever is watching. It's a director throws a party to all the seniors who are passing out. It's
yeah.
called Dairos,
The
and
farewell party. Yeah.
yeah, farewell party. Yeah, to
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
So that's when we came up with Verve Media.
mm,
Basically, back then it was just text. Then we made a proper logo and everything. So that was the beginning of everything, I would say. So
mm,
since then, me and Ethan, we used to work together with in every project that we have.
mm,
Election campaigns, we used to make posters. Any Justin events
mm,
or any of our friends need any posters, we used to do that. Video edits, we used to do that. Ethan started doing other gigs outside. I
mm,
didn't go out much. But yeah, so that's the basic background. Now, third year is when you actually realize, no, you must have also have gone through the same. Most of your
mm.
friends, oh, I have wasted 2 3 years. Now I should do something. Like in 1 year's time,
Yeah,
I'll be graduated. I need to do something else, right?
yeah.
So, and like all this while, we used to think a lot, right? We
Mm,
had so many business ideas. It's not just
mm,
me and Ethan. There were many other friends also who are involved in it. We had a group of seven, like seven was the main team, seven
mm,
members. We also created a group where there were around 20 people, if I'm not wrong.
mm,
And this was made for BIC. So BITS had an innovation challenge called BIC.
mm,
And we basically from this 20 member group, we gave few ideas. We listed all the ideas and we were like, okay, let's see who all can do what, and
mm,
try to at least make a presentation, go present and see where it goes. So that was the idea, and then we were like, okay, we did one project together, and you know it's worked.
yeah, yeah.
So let's just stick on together and see. So we started doing freelance gigs, saved our initial investment and started.
Mm,
But what happened is that over the period, each one of them had their own. I wouldn't say issues. One of them wanted to, got a better job opportunity. They had to
mm,
pursue
mm,
that. They had family
mm,
issues. They wanted to
yeah.
look after that. One of them had a offer from a better startup. So
Mm,
again, we are all close friends still.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah.
that's how everything we narrowed down to me and Ethan. And me and
Mm,
Ethan, since Craven, we know this is going to work because of not because of the product that we have, because of the support that we are getting from the merchants who are using it. And I feel me and Ethan complement each other also better.
yeah, yeah,
Like he has a lot of qualities that I don't have. For
yeah.
example, I stress a lot. And now I have, stress a lot in the sense I try to overthink a lot.
Mm,
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ethan is more okay, more practical, I would say. I am more optimistic in that sense. He's like, I don't know, maybe it might happen, it might not happen. He's that
mm.
kind of attitude. I am more like, it's going to happen. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
balance out each other,
No, it's good that
Yeah.
way because it's best if founders have co-founders have very different skill sets, because it becomes hard otherwise. It becomes a lot of them. You'll have conflicts of interest, you'll have conflicts of
Yeah.
ideologies, you fight a lot, but this way it's best, right?
Yeah, correct. And
Yeah,
I feel me and Ethan has also grown together, right? Like
yeah,
2016, now
yeah,
it's 20, almost 10 years. So initially, when we used to have discussions, we used to have egos. Now we know, okay, both of us are trying to build something together.
yeah.
Let's try to think in such a way that what is beneficial for the brand.
I want to ask you one specific question. If there was one skill that you'd recommend all marketers to have, what would it be? Okay, forget one skill. Maybe top three skills that every marketer should have.
Copywriting,
Hmm.
copywriting, storytelling, uh, understanding the market.
Hmm. When you said understanding the market, you're talking about market research, right? So,
Yeah,
what are some of the best ways that you can do market research in UAE? Is it directly going and talking to your ideal customers or your potential customers? Is it surveying? And what are the best ways to put surveys out there? Because not everyone is going to respond, right? So, what are the
correct.
creative ways to do market research? Forget
So
open data. Public data is already available, so let's keep that aside. But I'm talking about getting actual feedback or opinions from your potential
So I'll
clients.
tell take with respect to Craven what we have done. So
Yeah.
Craven first and foremost, we basically used to walk into restaurants,
Hmm.
tried to talk to the staff. We at one point we were developing delivery module, so
Hmm.
targeted for drivers. Yeah,
Hmm.
we were talking to the drivers, and they are the ones who told, okay, we need this feature, this feature, this feature. It helps us.
Yeah.
So we used to go and talk to drivers, restaurant managers, staffs over there, restaurant owners, and that was the initial market research that we used to do.
Hmm.
Reddit was a
Hmm.
good platform for us
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
understand how customers take each platform.
Yeah.
I'm talking this with respect to Craven. I
Hmm.
believe each and every industry, whatever project you're doing, would be a
Hmm.
different market thing.
Yeah.
Facebook groups was another area where we were able to.
Hmm. Start a conversation. Yeah.
So we within Craven we have built. We haven't gone live yet, but we have started building few things. So we are trying to build a merchant marketplace. So,
Hmm.
for example, you are a restaurant. You want a photographer to do food photography. So basically, what happens is that the person goes to Facebook page. He looks out for any food photographer or Instagram, and then contacts them. What we are trying to do is list them on our platform. They can directly contact, and it's done. So these things we got to know from Facebook groups that these are few issues that owners are finding. Management people doesn't usually know what's happening within
Hmm.
or the issues that they're facing, as in
Oh,
the
okay.
facilities are facing. It's usually the staff or the manager at the facility who knows this.
Hmm.
So if you spend 15 minutes with a supermarket manager,
Hmm.
you would get more resources, important issues, I would say, yeah,
Hmm.
than if you spend an hour or 1.5 hours with the owner of the brand.
And how much of your entire workflows are automated, and how does AI come into play?
The other day, I asked ChatGPT how many hours have I spoken to you.
Hmm.
So basically, whenever I'm walking,
Hmm.
I send my audio notes. Whatever is there in my head, I send as audio notes. It's there.
Hmm.
And what I've done is I've created a workplace under ChatGPT, especially for content. It's separated. As in, if it's Craven content, it's a separate thing. If it's
Hmm.
personal content, it's a separate thing. So
Hmm.
personal content, as in whatever has happened in my life, entire history, ChatGPT knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, entire
Yeah.
thing. So when I try to give more details, I try to tell them that whatever I have mentioned in the past, try
Hmm.
to correlate to it. So ChatGPT becomes my, I would say, my first copywriter. Uh,
So, do you work? So, when I just want to understand the way you interact with AI. So, you're always, when you get an idea, do you leverage AI to build upon that idea by giving prompts and then getting a feedback, and then you try to flesh it out yourself, or do you create agents and then you automate the entire content generation and scheduling and posting and all those workflows?
no, no, no.
You don't
So
go to that
basically,
extent.
no. So basically, how because I feel like right now, people are wise enough to understand if something is AI generated, ChatGPT or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we shouldn't miss that human
Element, yeah,
element out there.
100%. Mm.
Yeah. So first things first, I have trained how I write a script. I have trained. I have put all that data into ChatGPT, and I'm like,
Mm.
I write my script like this. Yeah.
Mm.
And after that is when I'm giving new information, and I ask ChatGPT to write a new version or your version of it. So I
Mm.
always ask them to write two versions. One
Mm.
is you create your own drama, you add whatever masala you want to add, and
Mm.
give me a prompt, and then give me a prompt uh, where you think I would write the same thing like this. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Got it,
it gives
yeah.
me two prompts. And now from both, I take the best lines or best ideas. Then I give a final prompt from
Mm.
my side. It gives me a script.
Mm.
And I keep that script as my base and then I
Mm.
build the rest. Then I write myself.
Any advice for young marketers and founders out there?
Networking, the power in UA.
Mm.
Like I feel building a relationship, keeping a relationship is all that you need in order to build a proper business. Obviously, you need other things like you need to have a good product to give and all that. Second thing, you need to put yourself out there. I feel if you want to grow, you have to get out there. For example, you're in Italy right now. You're doing a podcast and you're pumping out content, right?
Mm.
So very much needed right now. In current scenario, that is personal branding, personal marketing is
Yeah, yeah.
very much needed.
Even the sole reason why I'm doing this is not because I am trying to break into the creator economy, the creator space as such. I have a full time job. I have a lot of projects that I do on the side, and that's my primary focus. And why I got into content recently, why I decided to start this podcast, is because I felt like there's a lot of things I can learn more from the people that are actually doing things out there in my demographic. So I wanted to learn from them, and I thought that if I'm learning something, and if I can pass the knowledge, if there are 3 or 5 or 10 or even 100 people out there who can learn alongside with me,
Absolutely.
that's the best thing out there, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's no point keeping all the knowledge to yourself if you can't share it out to people, if you can't help another person out there. So that's solely the reason why I'm doing this, right?
But it's amazing what you're doing, man. Like even with
Yeah.
the first video, the banner quality, like the design, I could
Hmm.
see how seriously you're taking it.
Thank you so much, man. Anyways, I know we went a little bit over schedule again. I'm so sorry, but
No problem.
hopefully big things come your way, and I hope that Craven becomes a big, big, big SaaS platform out there, and I hope that it beats all the aggregators, and I hope,
Thank you. Again,
yeah,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
hope that you guys see insane success, right? Convey my regards to Ethan as well, and hopefully we'll catch him soon for another episode.
Definitely, we'll catch up soon. And wonderful, man. I'm so proud that one of our bits juniors itself, you're doing something amazing. You're still maintaining such high level quality, and it's crazy. Long way ahead, man. Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, man. Let's catch up soon.
See you. Sweet. Thank you. Bye.
Cool.